Welcome back to Discipleship, and today we're going to be going over 5 questions to ask your youth pastor or pastor. You can ask him too. Either one's fine. So first question I like to ask is, can women be pastors? This gets a feel for the pastor's biblical knowledge as well as the church that the pastor serves at, just where the church stands in this, because a lot of churches have women in leadership, but like not necessarily a pastor. So where do you draw the line? What do they think of this sort of thing? Can women teach in the church? If so, where and where not? This isn't because women are unable to be pastors. It is because the Bible says they cannot be pastors. It's just different roles in the church for men and women. The next question is, how do you feel about Taylor Swift? You guys know that I believe that Taylor Swift is not good. Her music's not good, that sort of thing. I do hope one day she comes to know the Lord, but it's not good to listen to her music, her videos, anything like that. It's very demonic. So ask the pastor what he thinks about Taylor Swift. If she's bad, then should we tell the youth that she's bad? Their willingness to speak out against this certain thing will give you a good feel for how watered down the church is, if it be watered down at all. You can ask the same thing about Harry Potter. Is it bad? If so, should we tell the youth that they shouldn't read/watch it? Who should Christians vote for? So you can ask, who should Christians have voted for in the last election? This question, a lot of pastors like to give really watered down answers where they try and just say like, vote for who Jesus would vote for, and they don't really give you a definitive answer. It's really good if they do give you a definitive answer that shows that they're very sure in their faith, unless they give you the wrong answer, which is pretty obvious who Christians should vote for. But if they don't give you a definitive answer, could be a bad sign, or it just could be they were told not to give a definitive answer. There's a lot of things it could be, but it'll give you a good feel for the pastor. Another one is, should there be dress codes for youth in church? It's actually been churches I've been to that have not really done anything about this, and I don't really agree with that. I think there should be a dress code. So it'll be interesting to see just how a pastor responds to that. Hopefully they say there should be, but if not, that's also just good to know what that pastor believes personally. And then finally, should we invite unbelievers to church? So a lot of y'all may not agree with my standpoint that we should not. I'm saying we should not invite them into the body of believers, into the fellowship of believers. Like on Sunday morning, pastor's giving a sermon, it's a fellowship of believers. It's the Sunday school is a gathering of believers. Bringing an unbeliever into that is not only unbiblical, but it's also wrong to the unbeliever himself, because the natural man will not understand the things of God. So the unbeliever's not even going to understand first off. The unbeliever needs to be taken and shared. So you need to share the gospel with them first, and once they become a Christian, they're welcome into the church. If an unbeliever comes into the church of their own will, that is absolutely fine. Paul talks about that in 1 Corinthians, I believe it was, or 2 Corinthians, and he talks about unbelievers will be coming into the church of their own accord, and to just be aware of that. But other than that, just ask them what they think about unbelievers coming to the church. If they're good with them coming into the church, it just means they haven't delved deeply into it, so it's not necessarily a red flag. But you can also ask, if they're not quite sure, you can ask like if there's specific areas where they should and shouldn't be allowed. That's a really good question. But those are 6 questions that you can ask. I said 5, I think, but this was 6 questions that you can ask your pastor or youth pastor just to get a good feel on how biblically based the church is. I've used these personally. I think they work really well. There's more. You can ask any questions you like. Again, this is just my interview sheet. It literally says interview sheet for youth pastor. I don't think you can say that. Interview sheet for youth pastor. I seriously just ask these questions when I meet a new youth pastor. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you'll use it, and thank you for watching this episode of Discipleship. Please join us next time, and I'll be sure to post again soon. Goodbye.